Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joshua Greene, and I'm the president and CEO of Greene Sensory, which is a sensory company that manufactures devices that observe physical conditions necessary for any device that has an automated function. Here at Greene Sensory, we have a mission statement that is quite simple. What we seek to do is to provide the customer with advanced, effective, and efficient technology to make their machines and innovations run smoothly. I would like to give a CEO report over the past 8 years of operation here at Greene Sensory. When we first entered the market, we sought to satisfy 3 different customer clienteles: those who were seeking high-tech products, those who were seeking low-tech products, and of course those whose needs lie somewhere in between. So allow me to give you a brief overall history so that you can understand how we've been performing over the past 7 years. I will start off with 3 main basic financial statements that are key to understanding how any business operates. The first one will be the cash flow statement. I will highlight key components in this statement. Understand that as I go and read these numbers, they are all in terms of thousands. I have simply decimated it down for a more layman's understanding. But do understand that these numbers, as we do operate on a multi-million-dollar scale, these are in thousands. Our net income for round 1, which is the first year, was $800. Round 2, we jumped up to $5,514. In round 3, we dropped down to $642. As a result from round 3, as a point of inquiry, we banished our middle technology sensory, which was titled Allo. Point of inquiry: Andrew is our low-tech product, Allo is our mid product, which was abandoned after the 3rd year because it simply wasn't selling. So we decided to focus on the low-tech product being Andrew and the high-tech being Abel. Continuing on to round 4, after we sold and disbanded the whole middle product, our sales jumped right back up and our net income was $6,245. Around V5, which was year 5, $14,805 in net income. 6th year, $15,489, and in the 7th year, we did $15,056. Going on to seek another key component, let's look at our cash flow from operations. In year 1, we had a deficit of $633. Year 2, we jumped up to $10,326. Year 3, we did $3,353. Year 4 was a bit of a struggle for us. We dropped down to negative $2,108. However, in round 5, we had our most cash flow from operations throughout the whole period reported on, which was $22,491. We continued to prosper well in the year 6, which was at $20,370. And in year 7, we dropped down a little bit to $15,386. Now going on to the last thing I'll report for the cash flow statement, and once again these numbers are in thousands, is our closing cash. For year 1, we had $3,401. Year 2, we had $7,963. Year 3, we had $2,164. The 4th year, after selling our middle product, Allo, we actually reported a 0 at closing cash. The year after, which is year 5, we had $13,061. Year 6, once again, was a big year for us with $32,508. However, our highest was our closing cash on our closing market up to date, which would be year 8, at $42,486. As we continue on, I will now highlight some key components from our balance sheet. Now the balance sheet, I would like to go straight to the assets. The first year, we had an asset value of $27,353. The next year, we had $37,087. Year after that, which is year 3, we had $37,946. Then $58,345 for year 4. Year 5 will continue to climb at $73,575. Year 6, $95,866, and we closed out up to point with the highest up to date at $105,077.6. Our total liabilities for year 1 were $11,908. Year 2, $16,128. Year 3, $16,345. Year 4 jumped up to $30,498, which is nearly doubling the year before. Year 5 stayed pretty temperate at $30,923. Year 6, $37,726, and year 7, which is the highest up to date, $43,387. Drop down, let's take a look at our equity. The total equity for the first year was $15,445. The next year was $20,959. Our 3rd year was $21,611. 4th year, $27,846. 5th year, $42,651. And the 6th year, $58,141. 7th year, $62,389. Understanding those two, I will now take us on to the last key component I'll choose to highlight, which is our income statement. I'll just go to sales first, and I'll scale this one down to be brief. Year 6, we did the most ever at 1,952. Our most struggling year was, of course, the beginning year, which was at 47,019. The way we invested our money, I'll give you a brief rundown. I'm going to go throughout the rounds for the first 7 years, and I'm going to just highlight the research and development, the money spent for promotion and marketing, and the sales budget. In retrospect, I realized that these are key components that could have been improved on so that we could have generated more revenue throughout the process of the business. Research and development, we had $2,259 spent in our first year. Second year, we went to $5,557. Third year, we jumped back up to $1,000. Fourth year, we did $152. Research and development for year 5 was $830. Year 6, $901. Year 7, $804. Another key component with investing and getting our product out there was marketing. Marketing and promotion, we spent $15,000 for the first year, $19,000 for the second year, $3,000 for the next 2 years, going up to year 5 with $35,000, where we finished out up until the years that we are now, which is year 8. Our sales budget for the first year was $15,000. Realized that this $1,500. Realized this wasn't enough. Jumped up to $1,900. Realized we still needed to focus more and spend more money on sales to get the product out there. So from year 3 up until date, we have spent $6,000 in a sales budget to continue to get our project out there. The net profit for the first year was $800,000. For the second year, $5,514. Third year, $642. Fourth year, $6,245. The year 5, $14,805. The year 6, $15,489, and the year 7, we did $15,056. Now, this is just how the company performed. Allow us to understand that this company was performing in a market that was a monopoly, and it was then broke down into 6 main competitors. So, allow me to place a little, put it in perspective to let you understand how we performed amongst our competitors. For round 1, we were the lowest in our return of sales and the lowest in our return on equity. However, the CEO had a trick up his sleeve, and with understanding that we had 17.7% of the market, when we went on to round 2, we jumped up to actually the highest in return of sales, which is at 9.6%. Our return on our equity was 26.3%, which is also the highest of the other 6 competitors, as well as our return on our assets. Round 2, we had less than 1% of return on sales. Our return on equity was the lowest amongst our competitors, as well as our return on assets. However, once again in round 4, we jumped up to the highest in return on sales, the highest in return on assets, and the highest in returns on equity. This was a direct effect of the decision to isolate and discontinue the production of aloe, which was our midstream client. With servicing our midstream client, we then sought to have one object sensory in the high-tech market and one in the low-tech market. So going on to year 5, we continued to do well. Year 5 numbers are as reads. We were the highest amongst our competitors in return of sales, the highest in return of assets, and the highest in return of equity. We also continued to do so in round 6, being the highest in return of sales, the highest in return of assets, and the second highest, in return of assets and equity. Going on to round 7, we were the second in all 3 major categories, being return of assets, return of sales, return of equity. So we competed fairly well in the market. However, we did not dominate. In conclusion, you've heard the numbers. From my personal experience, understanding that I'm the CEO and I'm the head of the company, I would have done a couple things different. More money would have been poured in from the jump for research and development. In retrospect, the 2 companies would have just been better to have one object in the high-tech market, one in the low-tech market. Understanding that in these 2 markets, we can focus more research and development time on getting the customer what they want instead of trying to satisfy a medium customer. Providing a quality product which is made from employees who have just been trained. Recruitment and training was something that we invested in heavily with our time quality management, which allowed us to get a more quality product, which allowed us to build brand loyalty. I would have also spent more money in advertising and marketing from the beginning. Promotional is key, especially when you're entering a market where you have 6 main competitors. We need to establish dominance at the beginning and build brand loyalty so that our customers will continue to invest in our product. This concludes my brief report. For more information as well as investment opportunities, please visit www.greensensories.org. Thank you.